My fifth strategy for targeting Insulate Britain. It's quite simple. Class them as domestic terrorists. They are stopping movement of people, goods, and supplies to British people in road situations. They are randomly attacking with no real objective that I can see other than insulating our houses. Now, this is the funniest part. It is just insulate the houses. It is the most disgustingly stupid idea I've ever heard. Insulation in British homes is quite good at the best of times. We have brick. Brick is good insulation. Cavity wall insulation is more designed for America, where they have houses that are made of something called wood, which is not particularly insulated. In comparison to us, brick is a good insulator. Cavity wall insulation can be applied to new build homes, and it usually is. What the hell they think they are talking about is pretty much nobody bit. They are just an insane group of terrorists. And if I was in charge, that's how they would be classed as. Their funds would be seized and they would be put in rehabilitation centres. Now, I'm not saying concentration camps, but I think they need to understand how maniacal their theories are. They have been brainwashed, and they are zealots to their theories. Now, I will not say that I cannot be persuaded myself for certain parts of green culture, such as the move to electric cars. There are problems with that, but it is a good idea. I think the move to only electric cars is a problem. I will do another video if you wish. Subscribe for that video if you wish to understand why I think electric cars are a big problem, not hybrids. Hybrids are interesting compared to electric cars. So, thank you for watching for my 5 tactics on defeating Insulate Britain. Good day. Oh, do not forget to subscribe. Hello everyone. So, recently we have had another strike from the Insulate Britain terrorists. How would I, if I was in charge of security services and the police, handle them? Now, I know there are people who just say shoot them from long range, but that doesn't really solve the matter completely, does it? We just make them martyrs. That doesn't do us any good. That actually does us a lot of harm, if you think about it. So how would I cause Insulate Britain to become a joke? Simple. 5 stages. Stage 1. Create a task force of fast attack bikes. Now, what do I mean by attack bikes? Well, bikes that are high speed, they can go to any place in London and on the motorway system where Insulate Britain is holding a protest. Now, why am I talking about bikes? Well, bikes are fast-moving, small vehicles that can get in to places that bigger cars can't. This is what is causing the problem for the police. They are using the wrong tool. Fast attack bikes, mostly, I would say what they're using at the moment would be sufficient, but I would use a lot of them. I would swarm the Insulate Britain people very, very quickly. I would say 30 people should be at that place where Insulate Britain is being a nuisance or causing a disruption to British infrastructure. Now, if you're an American, you don't quite understand what's going on. Insulate Britain are people who, and wait for this, I'm not joking, unfortunately I can't show you pictures of this, you might have to look that up yourself. They glue themselves to the highway. Literally glue. Right, that is my fifth thing I will do. I will sort out the glue situation. I've thought about that one. Right. So we've got these people surrounded by police. What do we do next? Well, step 2. Let's take off the kitten glove, shall we? I have seen a police officer putting a blanket round a protester. That will stop. That will stop for 2 reasons. 1, that should support the protesters, and 2, that shows that we care about them. Now, why do we not care about the protesters? Protesting in the UK is quite a good thing. We do not stop protests, usually, if they are peaceful and well organised. Most of them are. This is peaceful, well organised, but is stopping movement of people, products and persons along the country. They are blocking roads. This is an attack on British infrastructure, so we will treat them as terrorists. That is a terrorist attack. If you are stopping infrastructure, I class that as a terrorist attack. So we will not be putting blankets around them and treating them with kid gloves. Now, how will we not treat them with kid gloves? Simple. Wash them down. Have 2 bikes. 1 bike filled with 2 bottles of water, preferably ice cold. The second one will have a pressure washer. You can see where I'm going with this. This might solve the glue situation, but I think I've got a better idea for that. The people will be washed out with cold water. They are not to be treated with respect or any respect at all. There was an event recently on the last one, which I only just saw before I started doing this, where somebody poured ink over them. Nice try, sir, but I think they're not that bothered about that. Causing them to be cold and miserable might be worth the time. Now, that's my second point. Make them miserable. It will be glorious. Now, the third part of my 5-part plan. Cut off their infrastructure. I have seen professional banners at every single one of these Insulate Britain events. I have seen clothing at these events that is of similar design. These will be seized. The person who will make them will be told, you do not make any more if you wish to stay in business. If you wish to stay in business, do business with other people. This is not allowed. It is, in my personal opinion, it is, I will not call it akin to Nazi paraphernalia. That is something completely different. But it is akin to terrorist paraphernalia. They are I would class them as a terrorist organisation. Now, what does this cause? Well, this causes some nice little things. This causes them to have less well-defined strategy. They no longer have coats, the coats will be taken off them. Their clothing will be kept. Their coats will be kept. Their marked clothing, so branded Insulate Britain clothing, will be taken away from them. This is terrorist paraphernalia. The fourth part of this attack on Insulate Britain will be quite simple, but quite effective. All members of Insulate Britain will be barred from buying glue. Now, okay, I know this is a little bit draconian, but there is something quite interesting I'm thinking of. The glue at every single Insulate Britain, the packages of glue or adhesive should be seized, and the manufacturer and the person who bought it should be found. And if they are found to supply them with glue, they will be barred from buying glue. So basically this means Amazon and all building merchants will have a stop on their card, will not be able to transact with them until this Insulate Britain movement disbands. Basically, you do not allow these people to buy glue on any circumstances. It's not a simple equation, but an interesting one. Now, the last little trick. Insulate Britain is an annoying parasite that causes problems for British culture. We seem to have this problem with them at the moment, that they seem to stop all traffic and people hate them with a riotous passion. Well, I think they should be in the prison. Literally put in prison in the vulnerable prisoner wing. This is meant to... No, I think I can come up with something better than that. Give me a moment.